feel like Chevy Chase in Saturday Night Live. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been provided by filing a copy thereof with the municipal clerk on January 7th, 2013, faxing a copy thereof to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 8th, 2013 at 8:47 a.m., and posting a copy thereof on the bulletin board on the main floor of Borough Hall, 221 South Fifth Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey, on January 8th, 2013 at 9 a.m. Fire exits are to my left and right, your right and left respectively. I would remind both members of the public as well as those up here to please speak into the microphones, and assistive listening devices are available. Captain Golden, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
By the way, Captain, can I commend you on that uniform you're wearing? Is it new?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Okay. All right. Roll call.
Mayor Minkoff.
Here.
Councilwoman Burl Mittler.
Here.
Councilman Erickson.
Here.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin. Councilman Millay.
Here.
Councilman Potts.
Here.
Councilwoman Welkowitz.
Here.
Borough Attorney Schmier.
Here.
Borough Administrator Kovac.
Here.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular and conference meetings held August 13th, 2013 as distributed?
Motion to approve. Second.
Do we need a roll call? All in favor? We can do this by acclamation. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Okay, motion is carried. Council reports. This evening I will start with Councilman Potts.
Just a couple of quick things. I just wanted to report that our summer camp registration had a total of 315 campers, which did include 113 of our international students that were here this summer, which was quite an increase over our 2012 camper registration of 190 people. Also, just a reminder, there's plenty of lots of programs and different activities scheduled for the fall, and the registrations can either be found either at the Senior Youth Center office, or you can also get those online as well. And lastly, I just want to wish all of our Jewish residents good holidays coming up, because both holidays will be occurring before our next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Welkowitz.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to report that last week we had our second Walk the Park Mayor's Wellness Campaign walk event, and it was an architecture walk hosted by Steve Busby, resident and architect, and he pointed out the wonderful craftsman-style homes and the classic kinds of craftsman-style details on homes in the Livingston Manor district. About 35 people attended, and unfortunately we had to turn some people away, and we're very sorry to have had to do that. Mr. Busby agrees to do another walk for us in the spring. In the meantime, look out for upcoming themed walks. Also, because the response has been so overwhelming, we're holding another walk on Thursday, September 26th at 6 p.m. At the Meadows Trails for people to meet at the corners of Valentine and South 5th. And this is going to be a regular monthly event, the fourth Thursday of every month. Meet at the trailhead at the Meadows. Anybody that's available, you don't have to sign up, so the subscription's unlimited. And it's just a way for people to get together if they want to go for a walk after dinner. We're starting this one this month at 6 p.m. And in general, we'll do it about an hour before sunset, but we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you. And also, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Councilmember Burl Mittler.
Thank you, Mayor. September 29th is the date for Main Street's annual Arts in the Park Festival. Hope you'll mark it down on your calendars. Highland Park has become known as a center for arts in this area, and we're hoping to have a very good turnout. There's still time to reserve your booth if you'd like to show the world your creativity on September 29th. I also want to remind residents about our Park Partners program. You may have heard me discuss this before, but it's a very exciting and novel program. We have been able to put together some funds to actually give back to our residents who come up with ideas for programs to benefit the rest of the community. There are applications at the Borough Hall, at the Main Street office, and throughout town where you can fill out what your dream for improving Highland Park is, and participate in the program by applying for a grant. We will be giving out $2,000 grants, up to 5 of them, in one of several categories. So please talk to your neighbors, come up with some ideas. Let us reward you for your support of Highland Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Gary had to step out for a second. John, council report?
Yes. On tonight's agenda, on the consent agenda, is a resolution to support New Jersey Earned Sick and Safe Days. There's a piece of legislation that's been entered, A4125, and Senate version 2868, which would mandate earned sick days for all employees. Similar legislation has been adopted in San Francisco, Milwaukee, Washington, D.C., Seattle, and Portland, and most recently in New York City, and also by the state of Connecticut. This would be a statewide measure that would mandate sick days be paid. Also, in the next week or two in Jersey City and Newark, they are going to be passing ordinances in those towns. They're Class 1 cities, and they can do that, we can't, to mandate paid sick days as well. So this resolution just supports the state legislation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Council President Malay.
Just a quick update on our sidewalk improvement program. We have awarded the contract and are in process of drawing up and distributing the contracts to each of the approximately 475 homeowners that have applied to the program. So those contracts will be going back, and when we get those, when they come back to us signed, et cetera, then we'll be organizing, and at that point we'll have to decide, depending on the time frame, the weather, et cetera, whether we want to begin this fall or hold off and do the entire project in the spring. But again, we are moving forward, and we'd just like to ask you for a little patience. Usually when we do our sidewalk improvement program, we have 100, maybe 150, and this is, 3 to 4 times as many. So there's a lot more labor hours involved in the administration of the project. So, but we'll keep you updated. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I just have 2 items. One is a package I got from the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency. There's something that's in the package and something that's not. I want to address both very briefly because I think that they're both very important. So one of these, and I believe that we have this literature available in various places, but one of these things says New Jersey home buyers get up to $50,000 interest-free, introducing the Sandy Home Buyer Assistance Program. This is for people of low and moderate income who can get up to a $50,000 forgivable interest-free loan if they purchase a home in one of the 9 Sandy-affected counties, including Middlesex. I don't have all the details memorized, but what I would say is that certainly it warrants either a visit to the Housing Mortgage Finance Agency website. We're going to leave these at the clerk's desk so that if anybody has an interest, they can find out about it. We'll try to get some over to the library as well. We'll put one up near the tax office, but just so that people are aware, this may or may not be appropriate for people either that wish to come to Highland Park or who are in Highland Park. But in case you have an interest or piqued your curiosity, you may want to know about that. What's not in this package, but what we also have distributed in various places around town, and it was reminded to me this week that while the headlines in some cases say that the recession is abating, unfortunately, Councilmember Wolkowitz and I had to tag team, if you will, this week because we got word from someone in town that there's yet another family who is in the process of being foreclosed, and probably too late in the process for us to be able to give them a lot of choices, but certainly a few things we're able to do to keep them from becoming homeless. So the reason I mention that is, depending on your individual circumstances, again, the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Financing Agency has anything from free legal representation in English and Spanish, to access to potentially your bank or bankers to help you see if you can renegotiate the terms of your loan. There's a whole array of different possibilities they may be able to offer, and what happens is, more often than not, out of embarrassment, a sense of humiliation, people suffer in silence and they lose their home. And I can't tell people how they should feel, and I certainly can sympathize with those feelings, but if you're really struggling, there may be help available for you. So you can either reach out, whether it's to a member of the clergy, whether it's through a friend of a friend, whether you just call this phone number that's here, and again, we have this information at Borough Hall, and I think we can probably scan some of this information or create, I think we even have links on the website. So I just want to remind people that, you know, we understand how you feel. We also understand that in, you know, most cases this is not the individual homeowner's fault, and so there could be resources to assist you, and by all means take advantage of them. The other thing that I would like to just briefly mention, because I don't think that we do enough of this, is I received a letter from a resident addressed to me, and this just came in this past week. Dear Mayor Minkoff, this is just a brief letter to commend your Public Works Department, particularly the sanitation workers, and your police department. I've been a resident of Highland Park for 50 years, and feel the citizens of this borough may not appreciate the work effort of these two departments in particular. I have family members who live in other New Jersey towns, some outside of Middlesex County. I am sure they must believe that I'm a paid marketing manager for Highland Park when I mention how pleased I am as a resident of this borough. I assure you this individual is not a paid employee of the borough. I think Chief Stephen Risco and Superintendent Donald Rich should be commended, as should the employees of their departments, for the fine job they do for the citizens of Highland Park. Respectfully, Carl Wilson. So what Carl doesn't say, Chief, is anything about that rather interesting ensemble that you've chosen for this evening. But notwithstanding that, I think that it's great that the residents of Highland Park are, I see that forced laughter. I think it's great that we have residents that tell us when our valued employees are doing things right, which we know happens much of the time, that people do things right, and we don't necessarily notice or take notice because it's just what's expected. But I want to thank Mr. Wilson for taking the time to recognize, and I agree with him completely, that we have lots of terrific employees in many departments, and certainly the Public Works Department and the Police Department have just done an outstanding job for an incredibly long period of time. And so thank you, Mr. Wilson, for letting us know about that. And that's my report for this evening. So with that said, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I went out of order again, didn't I? I'm getting pretty good at
We
that.
should just change the order. Just saying. Right?
I guess that's a possibility.
Do we need a mayor's report?
That's excellent, certainly. That's excellent. What you need is a mayor's fashion commentary. I think on a more frequent basis, that could really work well. By the way, did I mention that both departments typically wear uniforms? I guess I didn't mention that. So, I'm sorry, Chief. I wasn't singling you out. All right, why don't we get on with the meeting since some of us have deadlines? Borough Administrator, do you have a report for this evening?
Mayor, I just wanted to remind everyone that summer hours are over. The borough is back to working Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Attorney Schmuir, do you have a report?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're all caught up then, aren't we? Public discussion. If there are any members of the public that have anything they would like to ask us about or discuss, we have up to 15 minutes available now. I don't see any interest in public discussion, so I'm going to move on and ask the clerk to report. Oh, we do have somebody. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Matthew Hirsch, 333 Felton Avenue. I just wanted to just let the council know that the Public Information Committee has been meeting regularly, at least for one solid month now. And we've set regular meetings through the end of 2013, the next two meetings being September 26th and then October 24th, both Thursdays. We're shooting for the fourth Thursday of every month when there's not a holiday or any other intrusion. And we meet over here in the Berman Conference Room, and they're productive. You know, we outline very specific goals, and we talk about all the things that you already know what we're doing, related to the Highland Park News and the e-newsletter, and just other ideas in a kind of in a structured venue. But the reason why I actually got up was because it was well, two things. As a resident, thank you, Mayor, for mentioning the resources provided by HMFA. I have somewhat of a background in housing, and I know that those resources are not familiar to a lot of residents, not only in Highland Park but throughout the state. And so the fact that the borough is making those available and kind of elevating those is terrific. So thank you. And then also, Mr. Mr. Wilson's letter, if he would be, if maybe we could reach out to him on behalf of maybe the Public Information Committee can reach out to him. It sounds like a wonderful letter to the editor for the Highland Park News. I know that we've had wanted to solicit resident feedback, and that sounds like a perfect opportunity. It's if not, it's fine, but it's a very nice letter, and I think it would be something that a lot of people would appreciate, and would be reminded that these services that we sometimes take for granted are appreciated. So.
I think that's a terrific suggestion. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, so the Public Information Committee will reach out and see if that's, and I want to be clear, my intent was not to embarrass Carl in any way, shape, or form, nor make light of his very kind words. It's quite the opposite. I wanted to thank him for being the terrific person that he is and taking the trouble to recognize people going about their business, sometimes doing the ordinary, sometimes doing the extraordinary, and just taking a minute to say thank you. And I think that, it takes an extra second, and I just think that it's a terrific positive reinforcement. It's so easy to find fault in what people do because we all make mistakes, but it's a lot harder to take a step back and say, you know what, these are people that really care about the quality of life in the borough, most of whom don't live in Highland Park, but it's more than a job to them to do what they need to do for us, and I think that it's well said and well appreciated. Okay, with that, Clerk, would you report on advertising and notification of Main Street Highland Park's 2013 budget for consideration of passage on final reading by title?
The 2013 Main Street Highland Park budget was introduced and approved on first reading on July 2nd, 2013. A summary was duly advertised in the Home News Tribune on Friday, August 2nd, 2013, with the public hearing scheduled for September 3rd. Copies of the budget were made available to the public in Borough Hall and the Highland Park Public Library, and the people in the Business Improvement District were given copies of the notice along with a copy of the budget notifying them of the public hearing.
Okay, can I have a motion to take up the Main Street Highland Park budget on final reading by title?
So moved.
Second.
Public hearing? Okay, since there's no public hearing, then I'm going to request a resolution to adopt the Main Street Highland Park 2013 budget on final reading by title.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Brill Mittler,
Abstain.
Councilman Erickson,
Yes.
Councilman Malay,
Yes.
Councilman Potts,
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz.
Yes.
Okay. Clerk, can you report on the introduction of a bond ordinance amending and supplementing bond ordinance number 13-1843 for consideration of passage on first reading by title?
Bond ordinance amending and supplementing bond ordinance number 1843, finally adopted by the Borough Council on April 2nd, 2013, entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for the 2013 Sidewalk Improvement Program along with various real properties in the Borough of Highland Park, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $600,000 and authorizing issuance of $571,000 in bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost and the special assessment to increase the appropriation therein by $140,000 and to increase the authorization of bonds or notes by $133,000 to finance part of the additional cost has been introduced by the Finance Committee for consideration of passage on first reading by title.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adopt? So moved. Hang on 1 second here. I just have to get this into the record. I'm sorry. I need a motion to adopt and advertise the ordinance on first reading by title.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, can we have a roll call?
Councilwoman Bro-Mittler?
Yes.
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz?
Yes.
I would like to compliment my council colleagues, however, for their zeal. Okay, clerk report, would you report, please, on the introduction of an ordinance banning hydraulic fracking for consideration of passage on first reading by title?
An ordinance banning hydraulic fracking in the Borough of Highland Park, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey has been introduced in writing by the Public Works and Public Utilities Committee for consideration of passage on first reading by title.
Can I have a motion to adopt and advertise the ordinance on first reading by
Right.
title?
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Bro-Mittler?
Yes.
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz?
Yes.
Okay, clerk, can you report the introduction of a handicap parking ordinance amendment for consideration of passage on first reading by title?
An ordinance amending on-street parking regulations for residences occupied by handicapped persons and amending the code of the Borough of Highland Park has been introduced in writing by the Public Safety Committee for consideration of passage on first reading by title.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adopt and advertise the ordinance on first reading by title?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Bro-Mittler?
Yes.
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we're up to our consent agenda. I have items 14 through 24, items 913, 268 through 913, 278 inclusive. The resolution to amend rules of order, resolution to approve bills list. These are all resolutions. To ratify DPWA contract, to amend annual salary resolution, to approve facade and awning improvement contracts, to approve payment to public safety building architect, to credit water and sewer account for 130 Columbia Street, to purchase public safety building furniture from Business Furniture Incorporated under the state contract, to execute interlocal agreement with the MCIA for yard waste recycling, to approve and authorize road closure for the Arts Festival, and to support New Jersey Earned Sick and Safe Days Act. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Bro-Mittler?
Yes.
Councilman Erickson?
Yes.
Councilman Malay?
Yes.
Councilman Potts?
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do I have any open items? I don't believe I do. Okay, now we're up to the second public discussion. If there are any questions, Mrs. Spicard, if you would come up and tell us who you are and where you live, please.
Ruth Picard, 307 Magnolia. I have a couple of questions. On the sidewalk repairs, what happens, does everybody now who didn't do this on their own over the last year and a half committed to this program that the borough is doing? So that I can assume that by this time next year, all the sidewalks in Highland Park will be in good condition?
That would probably be an estimation. I would say you'd see a significant improvement. There are probably ones between then and now that may get into trouble. There might be ones that we've missed, but you'll see, we're talking close to 500 different homeowners that are going to be part of this program. Plus, there have been, I think, close to, 100 or so in the borough that have done so on their own. So you'll see a vast improvement, yes.
Well,
But-
I'm talking of ones that are very conspicuous, where I broke my toe and where somebody else tripped and broke their arm, and nothing has ever been done with them. Can I assume now, or maybe that's...
Well, I can't talk about specifics because I don't specifically know where that incident occurred, but like I said, there's going to be, at a minute, in this program, there will be 475 at least contracts that'll go out, and any place that we will cite, they will be repaired. So if it's a significant one, it will be repaired, yes.
Okay, and then I wanted to suggest something with this newsletter that the rabbi...
It's not me, that's somebody else's line of work.
that comes out from the mayor. I think it would be valuable if it would be used as an educational tool as well. I mentioned to somebody, like reminding people, it's a holiday weekend, there's no garbage pickup on Monday. People don't think about these things. We have so many students now and out-of-towners that just don't give any thought to these things. And if it sits out there from Saturday until the latter part of till Wednesday, when the north side starts their pickup, if you would include these kinds of things, I think it would be of value. And if the newsletter is to educate and to inform, it might be valuable to put that in.
Thank you. I thought we were putting that stuff in.
Yeah, if I could, Mrs. Bickard. The Public Information Committee does issue all that information on I think a weekly basis.
Yeah, and it's Nixle messages.
Through Nixle messages, and then the newspaper that comes out twice a year does have information about garbage pickup and not pickup.
Those of us who live here year-round read this. My tenants don't read this. They couldn't care less.
Have you shared this information with them?
Yeah, I do. And then they apologize and they go out and they pull the garbage can back. But if I weren't home, it would be sitting there.
Yeah, the Nixle messages are not just for residents, it's actually for anybody who wants to sign up for them. So if you'd like to have your tenants get us their email addresses, right, you need email.
Or cell phone numbers.
Or cell phone numbers, and we'll be happy to include them in all of these.
As an example, and that would be true of any landlord that has tenants that would like to share this information with them.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, I believe that was all the business that we had for this evening, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
To executive
To
session.
conference, I think the conference.
Conference.
Either way, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Okay, meeting's adjourned, thank you, and have a good holiday, everybody. Good night.
Just don't forget.